next dish, now, and this was a tricky one. Our next dish,
Yes, it was.
Danny and Chef Lena Ciardullo from Union Square Cafe, is Spanish mackerel casino. Danny, explain the dish.
Sure. Well, first of all, I'm grateful for what you said earlier. Today is the 38th birthday of Union Square Cafe. It's the first restaurant I ever opened. We'll see how many of you guys can do math, but I was 27 years old on that day, and now I'm 29, so that's pretty good. Although in restaurant years, I'm a little older than that. But it was absolutely no question, seeing that this was going to be October 21st, that I wanted to make sure that we got to showcase the incredible food from Lena Ciardullo, the executive chef at Union Square Cafe. And this is a dish that if no one had told me, if this dish had been cooked from any of the other three chefs up here, I would have said this is an Emeril dish, because this has Bam in your mouth, doesn't it? This is Spanish mackerel, which maybe is the Riesling of food. It doesn't get enough respect. And it's been cured with all kinds of different things. It's almost like making gravlax out of Spanish mackerel, but with rice wine vinegar. And Lena calls this mackerel casino, sort of a play on clams casino, but instead of having bacon on the top, it's a Soppressata vinaigrette. So there's some spice to it, there's some sweetness to it, and I am just really grateful that I was not the one asked to pair the wine with this, but we're gonna see how you guys fare with this. Enjoy it.
Emeril's choice for this dish is the Paul Hobbs Chardonnay Russian River Valley George Menini Estate 2021, a wine that rated 93 points and cost $90. Emeril, what was your thinking behind the pairing of the dish and the wine?
Well, I knew that the mackerel, had a really high oil content. And I know that the mackerel was going to be cured or marinated with a little bit of vinegar. So you had that high acidity. And then the Soppressata vinaigrette, you have a little oil, and then you have a little bit of that spice. And I just, the team and I thought that, we kind of, as you said, we cheated. We kind of did the dish a little bit, and then we thought that this wine would just like cut right through it and could handle the vinegar, could handle the oil content. And so that's why we chose the Paul Hobbs.
I chose the Louis Roederer Brut Champagne Collection 244. It's a multi-vintage wine, and it's a new concept that Chef de Cave Jean-Baptiste Le Caillon from Louis Roederer has been thinking about for a number of years, but they launched with the Collection 242 a few years ago. And it has what he calls a perpetual reserve. So it's almost like a Solera system in sherry, where every time they draw off some of the reserve wines, they replace it with the new vintage. And I think what I like about this is it brings a little bit more richness and creaminess to the champagne. And I love mackerel, but normally when I have mackerel, I'm having sashimi. So it's a little bit more simple. And I like to drink champagne with sashimi and sushi. This dish has a bit more acidity than I thought, just looking at the ingredients. And of course, I was concerned about the oiliness of the mackerel as well. It was really a tough one, but I figured when in doubt, champagne. Wow. So that was my choice. And I think I've known Paul Hobbs for many, many years. He makes beautiful wines. And there's not a lot of new wood on this Chardonnay, but I think for me, you feel the oak a little bit, and it's not as seamless with the dish, but the champagne, for me, really meshes well. And the acidity in this champagne works with the acidity in the dish, and it just cleans the palate, and there's a nice, refreshing feeling on the end.
Bruce, I have an opinion about this too. But it's so amazing to see that Danny is celebrating 35 years of his
38. But those
38
last
years of
three were
his
pretty
first
challenging.
restaurant. And I don't think we gave a round of applause enough what it means to keep a restaurant successful for so many years. And because we are talking years, this is a situation, guys, I want you to think very deep, because your life and your future may be at stake in this moment.
Don't cheat.
If you want to be taken as a serious wine drinkers. This is what I see. Number one, I love the dish. You don't know how hard it is to make a dish of a fish that is fresh for so many people. Danny, I mean, you chef, amazing dish. I love it. But
Why the but?
I love Paul Hobbs. Nobody knows how much I love the Chardonnay. I think the oily mackerel goes so well with this creamy texture of the wine. I think it doesn't deserve a 93. I know I'm getting in trouble. I will give much higher punctuation to this wine. But at the same time, I will say that Louis Roederer doesn't deserve a 93 either. I will go much higher. Both of wines, I will go much higher. But I think the creamy texture of the champagne goes also very well with the breadcrumbs and the mackerel texture. So on this wine, Brut, I'm going with both wines. Why? Because if we go more often with both, and we give everybody the credit they deserve, America and the world will be a much better place. Everybody brings something to the conversation, and I'm going for both. I'm not taking sides on this one. I think both go amazingly well with the mackerel. I am José Andrés. I endorse this message. Thank you.
So does that mean, Jose, that everybody gets to vote with both hands?
Well,
I will propose that.
Let's ask them.
I will propose 3 votes. I will propose 3 votes. One wine, the other wine, and both wines. That's what I'm proposing.
All right. Who's for Bruce's wine?
How many for the Louis Roederer champagne?
Remember what I said, and you can vote twice.
For Bruce wine?
And he's not cheating.
Bruce wine.
How many for the Paul Hobbs Chardonnay?
Whoa.
That's pretty close.
And who goes for both? Go down! Oh shit! We overpowered the majority.
There we have
I smell a tie.
it. It's a tie.
It's a tie
was
between
really
Hobbs and both.
An amazing dish and 2 terrific wines, certainly. Yeah.